And here we go. We're gonna go around this corner right here. What really impressed me with this car was the handling and my lack of attention. I'm gonna have to edit that one out, Polo. Was he in my lane?
No, he was in the
His other lane? Well, I caught him from the corner of my eye, and I thought it was, but then the last second I caught it, and I was kind of like, better safe than sorry, right? Well, hey, the brakes work, don't they?
Exactly, the brakes work.
Greetings, automotive enthusiasts. Today we have for you a 1981 Chevrolet Corvette C3 generation. This is a really, really cool old Corvette. It's an original survivor. It's got 48,000 miles on it. It is a two-owner vehicle. The last owner has had this thing over 20 years, since like 2001. And over the 20 years that he had it, he only put like 3,000 miles on the car. So old gentleman didn't drive it very much. Like I said, it shows two owners, no accidents on Carfax, 48,000 miles on it. On the car here so far, you know, from sitting, so the car's had 4 brand new calipers and then 4 brand new BF Goodrich radial TAs. So, you know, it's really about all we needed to do to kind of get it recommissioned. You know, it didn't sit for 20 years. It was, you know, it was driven. So the good thing was it wasn't like, you know, static. So that, so, you know, there wasn't any problems with the fuel system or anything like that. Just a really good, solid, old, low mileage car. This one does have the optional 255 series tires on it. So that makes it look, gives it a really, really cool stance. I really love the C3 Corvette. I love the first and the last of it. So I had a 69 Stingray that I just recently sold, and I'd had it for several years, and kind of really missing that car. And I'd been looking for this 80 to 82 body style. So really I wanted like an 80 or 81. 82 had the crossfire injection, a little bit afraid of that. So this car really was kind of an ultimate spec. Other than just having an automatic transmission, you know, a manual would be cool, but I don't think it was even offered in 81. I think 80 was the last year for the manual transmission option. I'm not 100% sure on that. You can look it up and check it out and find out the numbers for sure. But this is a very, very good, solid driver car. Mechanically, interior's excellent shape. The like I said, the body and the paint, I mean, it's you know, original, and it's a 1981 car, so it, you know, fiberglass car, so it is showing various imperfections, which we will go into detail and show you. So let's go ahead and zoom in on the car here. So let's kind of start with the nose of the car. So you'll see right here that, you know, we've got the paint that's kind of wore through. Looks like maybe evidence of a car cover or something. You know, I would think, you know, maybe this thing had a car cover on it, and maybe that's part of the reason for some of the paint issues on the car. But anyway, so if you look across the nose of the car, you will see some issues in the paint. This is probably the worst of it, but you know, the car has imperfections consistent over the whole car. So, you know, but I mean, it's kind of, it really shows the honesty and the patina of the car. There's a little bit of a actual scrape right here, and but that could be, so here's what I'm gonna do with this car. You know, that's an easy thing to resurrect or fix if you paint the car. So what I was gonna tell you here is, I'm gonna show you the car as it is right now, as we receive the car, you know, with all of its patina. But if I don't sell the car as it is, I'm actually considering having the complete car repainted. It's just that, you know, the car is such a fantastic survivor, you know, and the interior and mechanics, I mean, it's just so good. It really deserves to have, you know, the paint brought back fresh and equal to the rest of the car, because it would be just such a wonderful car with a respray. So, so here's what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you the car as it is with all its imperfections. And I do have a couple people interested in the car as it is right now, which is kind of why I'm doing this video in 2 parts, to show it to you before and after. But regardless, if I did have it painted, I do like to show people what the car looked like before, so they can see really how good it was, you know, because I have a thing about, you know, freshly painted cars is like, you know, or whatever has been done to it. It's like, how bad was it before? Well, this documents what the car looked like before it was painted. And I think that's really important on the history of a car like this. So let's keep zooming in here so you can kind of see some chips and nicks. So I'm not gonna focus in on every single little piece, because like I said, there is stuff over pretty much the entirety of the car. Most of it is just chips and pits, but it is a really, really good solid car. You know, you look at the hood, you know, it's really, really good here. So there's your marker lights. They're in good condition. The bumper is nice. Got our little lower valance here. The little rubber, it's got a little bit of wear and tear on the rubber, but it's still in good shape. We got the, like I said, brand new radial TAs, 255/60/15s. These are an excellent tire. Made, I think they're made by Michelin, if I'm not mistaken. I think Michelin owns BF Goodrich. So brand new tires. So no problems there. It does have a really cool, that's not original, I don't believe, this little spinner knockoff center cap, but I think it looks really cool. I think it goes with the wheels, and you could put stock caps on if you like, but I think it looks pretty darn cool the way it is. Looking down the side of the car, you know, car is, you know, original fiberglass car, so, you know, looking at it, you know, this is pretty much how the car is. I mean, these cars were not perfectly flat from the factory, and then when you factor in the age of the car, you know, you're gonna get, you can see there's a little bit of, you know, just, I don't know, you call it waviness or whatever, but that is pretty much just the way the car is. I mean, obviously it didn't look like that, you know, when it was new, but just over the years and age. And then on every corner too, so what they did here when they built these cars is there's actually a factory seam right here along the fender, and on all four corners. So what it is when they factory seam these in, you know, they bonded them and then seamed them. Well, the seam filler, you know, shrinks at a different rate than the rest of the car. So you can kind of see, let's see how I can show this to you. On all four corners, consistently, you can see a little line, kind of hard to see, but you can see a little bit of a line in there. You can kind of see it as I move. You see how there's a little distortion in that. But that is factory. That is how they are built. All right, looking here at the windshield. The windshield is in really, really good condition. There's a few little pits in the windshield. It's consistent with the age of the car. And I haven't buffed this car, done anything to it, so got a lot of, you know, just the typical little scratches in it. So if a person, you know, if you went and had a paint correction done on this car, it would shine up and gloss real nice. You're not going to be able to get rid of all the imperfections, but it would still add a nice sheen to the car. There's the mirror, little chips around the edge there. Here's our rocker. Looks good. Road rash there on the leading edge of the flare of the quarter panel. Little chips along the edges. So like, this looks like, you know, maybe they had a car cover on here and moisture might have done that damage to that. That actually makes sense now that I think about it. That's probably what happened, is probably it had a car cover on it and then moisture got underneath the cover, and I bet you that's what probably caused that. It does have the mirrored T-tops, and they are in really, really nice shape. No cracks, no issues with the T-tops. I love this car, and I'm gonna show you, we're gonna pop the T-tops after we do the external walk around here. So again, it's that seam right here. You can kind of just follow my finger, and it goes right along there. So on all four corners. The wheels are in really, really good shape. They're kind of a satin polished look to them. Look really good. Again, there's that little center cap. Keep moving around. The back here does have a heated back glass that does work. So it's kind of nice, you know, really helps out with that. You can see right here where the paint has rubbed through right there. And these are, all these little flaws are kind of the reasons that I'm considering painting the car, but I would be happy to just drive it like it is too. Little bitty of a little nick right there. There's our left rear marker. Looking at the quarters. Flares look nice. Now it does have the warping along the top of the spoiler back here. This is pretty much, especially on a black car, there's not much you can do to prevent that. One thing that I actually thought about, I'm not gonna do it, you know, because there's different things you can do. Like, I think they make a fiberglass reproduction of this, but I would prefer to have the original urethane. But I had an idea. I'm not gonna do it because I said I don't wanna remove the bumper off of here, and you know, I haven't done it, so I don't wanna cause myself a can of worms. But on the DeLoreans, they have a warping front fascia issue. And so what they actually do is they have a metal, piece of sheet metal that they basically put on the underside of it, and then they put a, you know, like a panel bond or something on it, and then they clamp it, and they actually reinforce underneath of that with, you know, like a piece of aluminum or something like that. I think that would probably work on this car. So I don't know if anybody's done that or seen that done. That's my idea of a way to create that warpage, but I think it's pretty much common and probably accepted in the vet community. That's kind of what they do. The lights are in good condition. No real fading or anything. Rear bumper looks really nice other than that warping on the top. Right tail lights look very nice. Got our exhaust there. Dual exhaust out. And I'll give you a little bit of underneath of the car too. Okay, we're gonna take a quick peek underneath the car here too. Insert this in here. But nice and dry, very clean, very solid. There's your frame. So it's a little dirty, but it is very good. The exhaust is nice. Around the back here. There's the spare tire that lowers down. The exhaust is in really nice shape. Looks like it's probably been maybe replaced at some point in time. Yeah, it looks like potentially it's new on the mufflers. They look really, really nice. Suspension is all good. They call these frames, I think they call them the bird cage. Car's pretty low to the ground. There's a little peek underneath. Power antenna does work. Looks like it doesn't go down all the way, but it does work. Again, little nicks and chips. Here are a couple of paint peeling right here on this plastic. You know, if we have it repainted, I mean, that'll be sanded and filled and look nice. Looks like something spilled on the car right here, and you kind of feel a roughness in there, and something kind of ate into the paint a little bit right there. So more of the little issues of the car. Looking on the top of the quarter panel, and you can see, again, some of those little bumpy, little bubbly issues. All right, looking back here, there's a little nick on the quarter panel right here. Again, easy to repair if you're painting the car. If not, just touch it up and leave it the way it is. A couple little nicks on top of the quarter panel. Looking at the right rear wheel, probably the worst of it. It's got a few little nicks on the edges, but not very bad. Looks pretty nice. Looking down the side of the car, again, just factory original condition and appearance and smoothness. Door handles all work nice. Again, here is the top. Could be, you know, might need to be polished a little bit. Some little stains on the glass. Mirrors in nice shape. I like the little side gills here, kind of cool looking. Plastics are in good shape. Rocker panels are nice. Little nick there on the fender flare on the front. Looking across, and you can actually kind of see that seam that I'm telling you about right in here. See that right there? So that's on all four corners, and that's actually a factory. So it's factory, and with the age, it shows it. So the hood is really, really nice. I love the front end on these cars. Just sitting in the cockpit is such a cool view out of the windshield. Right front wheel is in nice shape. Little spinners there. And here is the marker. Good condition. A little rubber valance here. I could probably heat that up with a hairdryer and probably straighten that out a little bit. But a little bit of wonkiness there with that. But that's what that is there for, sacrificial. Little scrape right there. All right, let's go ahead and pop the hood on this guy. We'll take a peek underneath. Little hood pop down here. Just pull and pop the hood. No trunk on this car. I think 82 had a popping hatch, I think, as an option. 82 only, if I'm not mistaken. So here's our wipers. We did put brand new wiper blades on it, so they're all working nice. Everything's good there. This car, like I said, has had all four brand new calipers, and then I think they actually did a master cylinder too. That was done, the calipers and the master cylinder were done prior to me receiving the car. I purchased the car running and driving, basically just like this. The only thing that I did was change the tires. They only had about 1,000 miles on them, but they were about 8 years old, so we decided to go ahead and change them. New for 82, I believe, was these magnesium valve covers. Very, very cool. Look at the condition of everything underneath this hood. It's really, really nice. Here's our little factory emissions. There's our little chalk writings. I just love the originality under the hood of this car. Not modified, bone stock, excellent condition. Look in here, there's our little vacuum pods for the headlights. Headlights work properly. The wipers work properly. Everything is going good there. AC works. Just kind of letting you get a little view here of everything under the engine bay. All right, let's pop the tops off and we'll take a tour on the inside of the interior. Okay, we got the tops off and the windows down. One thing I'm gonna note on one top here, I think it's the passenger side, there's a little bitty scratch in it. I mean, it's a scratch in the, God, it's mirrored, you can't even tell. How do I do this? Stand back here. And it's not, these are glass, right? So it's just like in the tinting. So you can kind of barely see, there's a little scratch right there. So just minor, you don't even really notice it unless you get in the right light. So, go back here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, while I got the hood open, let's go ahead and just fire it off here so you can hear it start. That's it. Fires right up. Runs absolutely fantastic. No smoke. Just a wonderful, perfect little rumble. I love the car, the original exhaust. It's quiet, just has a nice little deep rumble to it, but it is not loud at all, and that's just the way you want it, in my opinion. Go ahead and shut her down. There's our antenna working. See it going down there. Hey, it went all the way down this time. All right, and then the hood here is real cool, simple little latch. Just push it forward, unhinge it out, bring it here. You want to bring it to about 8 or 10 inches, and then just drop it. So it just kind of latches on both sides there. All right, so here's a bird's eye view of the interior. I love the silver interior. Black car, silver interior, just absolutely looks fantastic. The door panels are in really good shape. Right here on the corner where it rubs against a rubber seal, a little bit of discoloration right there. And then across the top, a little bit of age on it, which, I mean, geez, this thing's an 81, kind of to be expected. But looking straight on this panel, it's in really, really good condition. Door handle is great. The door release, little crack in there, little fading, a little bit of age on that, but the carpet's nice and the door panel is very, very nice. Go ahead and get you a copy. Now these are about impossible to read, so I'll kind of show them to you, but let's just do this here. And I'll show you that. And then here is the VIN tag here, which is, let me see if I can get to focus on my hand. There we go. So, come on now. Focus on my hand. There we go. So you can read the VIN number. Now we got it right there. Okay, so we got the door open here. Looking, I like this view of the interior. Really, I love that silver steering wheel with the black spokes. Looks really cool. Here is the seat. Give you an overview of the seat, and then we'll kind of zoom in here closely. So you can see, I think these seats are kind of a combination of vinyl and leather. I think it's vinyl on the outside and leather on the inside, because you can see this is leather, and there's a little bit of cracking there. You know, I thought about maybe having Dr. Vinyl dye the inside of the seats, but the thing is, though, is it's kind of a marbly looking interior. You know, it's kind of, by design, it kind of has a splotchy, marbly look to it, and if he sprays it, it's going to be a solid color. So I'm kind of hesitant on, you know, if it's a solid color, I don't mind spraying it and making it look like original, but I don't want to actually change the look of the car, and that would change the look, and so I'm probably going to hold off on that. Got a little split right there on the vinyl. So really what a person might want to do at some point in the future, maybe want to recover the seats, but I'm going to run them like they are. Seat belts need a little bit of steam cleaning on them. They're a little bit dirty. The center armrest looks like they had something screwed into the top of it there, but it's really nice. It's still soft and kind of a soft rubbery feel to it. Power seats, and they all work. Oh, I guess I got to turn the car back on. It only works for a second. And I pulled the key out. Anyway, seats all work. And looking in the floorboard, so the carpets, the floor mat's a little bit discolored. I think you could probably take some something with like a cleaner with a little bit of a peroxide solution to it and probably brighten that up a little bit. Underneath, the whole carpets are like new. Let me turn my light on here. All right, I think this might help us out a little bit. So the carpets are in excellent condition. I mean, they are literally almost like new. That's little bumps that come off of the floor mat, what you're seeing on the floor there. So looking at the heel pad, let's pull that back. And you can see here, now here's the brake. Virtually nowhere on the brake or fuel pedal. And the carpets, there's a little bit of soiling there from, I've been driving this car pretty much daily. So I just vacuumed this car. I didn't really detail it, you know, didn't really go to town on the interior. I did wipe it down and vacuum it and touch it up, but it could use a little more detailing on it, but kind of showing that to you there. We do have the tilt wheel. So that does go up and down here. Kind of hard to do with, with just one hand. We have 48,886 miles, and that will go up as I am driving the car. Let me slide in here real quick. Now here's the ID tag here. One of the tags. So you can check that out. Okay, so here's something that's kind of cool. Our steering wheel is in really good shape. A couple little minor imperfections. I think there's one little there and one little bitty nick right there, but otherwise, this steering wheel is excellent. Now check this out. So you take this little collar, it's a lock collar, and you turn it, and you can go in and out, telescoping with the steering wheel. I run it out, gives me more clearance. Horn works. There's our wipers, headlight switches, headlights work. All of our gauges work. One thing actually that's not working though is the temperature gauge. I don't know if it's the sending unit or the gauge, but it is just in op, so I will be taking a look at that. I love the fact that this has the original radio, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn the key on so you can see that. Flip it back here. accessory position. There we go. So just a quick blast of the radio. All right. Radio actually sounds really good on this car. Everything works good on the climate control. We got our 3-speed automatic transmission. Got the little bump here and just everything works good. Transmission shifts great. All the windows work good. Power mirror left and right. There's your rocker switch for your mirror. Everything works there. Fired up. There you go. And again, seat. Everything's working on the seat. Just verifying that for you. And just showing you the no lights, no warning lights, no issues that way. In the glove box, everything is normal in there. Dash is in really, really good shape. No cracks. I mean, it's really good. I mean, I can't imagine it being much better than this. All the speakers work. Looking here at this windshield surround trim, there is one crack right here. So that could be, this could be pulled off, and then that could be bonded from behind and close that gap, and that would work just fine on that. Now this is plastic ABS. This is more of a rubberized material, so it has, you know, all these cars fade at a different a different deal. So this has faded a little bit compared to the ABS plastic. Here's the visors, which are in really good shape. Not even broken. It's pretty amazing. See what we got here. So the visors are really nice. There's our dome light that works. Again, looking at the back area, and I'll actually kind of flip the seat forward. There's our keys there with a cool Corvette fob on it. Let's pop around. Let's pop into the back here real quick, and then we'll go around to the other side. Okay, seat flips forward here, and carpet is really nice in the back. Here is our battery right here. Got a fresh Continental battery. This is the little hold down straps. So the T-tops are designed to kind of like stack on top of each other. This hold it in place. I don't have the covers for the T-tops, but I don't even like that system, honestly. Stacking them on top of each other just seems to me like a little bit asking for trouble. But they actually, one lays at an angle this way and one lays at an angle this way, and they actually fit back here really nice, just laying back here, and they don't go anywhere. So that's how I operate the T-tops. And then you can take this off here, and I will show you there's some stuff in here, little miscellaneous things. So there's the original owner's manual. There's a little cup holder, and there's a little trash bag, little stuff. I love to keep the little old knickknacks and trinkets that come with the car. I don't throw them away. I like to keep them. I think it's kind of cool. Put that back. I just think it looks nice, and then it gives you something to, if you throw my wife's purse back here or something, gives it something to kind of hold on to. And there's your back 6x9s. All 4 of the speakers work in this car. None of them buzz. They all sound really, really good. And so check this out. Here's what I like. We have the original cargo cover that works fantastic. So you just pull it and lock it, and then so that hides your back. So I'm gonna show you here. It hides anything you got in the back. And I'll just leave it like that too. It looks really cool. See how that gives you some security to hide any luggage or anything that you might have in the back. So we're gonna open up the passenger door here. Passenger door is about the same as the driver's door. Actually, it's better a little bit maybe. Some slight discoloration there. But I'll give you a pan back. You can see it's a little bit darker on the top, but very nice. You see that kind of marbly look to that? I think that's really cool. And that's why I don't want to do anything with the seats, because it would be changing. You can even see it more so on this driver's seat. You see how it just has that marbly looking pattern in there. The leather and everything on this passenger seat's really, really nice. Again, the carpets are almost perfect. And floor mats, again, showing some discoloration, but underneath, excellent, excellent condition. Looking across the dash again. So that is the tour of the interior. Let's jump in this guy. We're just gonna go ahead and leave the tops off and go and take this thing for a drive and see how it runs. All right, so I got my wingman Polo with me here. Say hi, Polo.
Hello, guys.
This is the guy holding the camera in lots of the videos here. So he's the one that has to go through all these crazy drives with me. I mean, a lot of times I use a mount, but you know, Polo helps me down here sometimes. So it's like, just as fun to get him in here and hold the camera for us. So let's go ahead and roll out from shift here. All right, so we got the T-tops off and the side windows up, which is like one of my favorite ways to drive this car. It's probably about 55 degrees right now, totally comfortable. And we're gonna actually get this up even on the highway. So to show you like, you know, how livable and how doable this car is with the T-tops off. Driving this car around is kind of funny. I mean, you know, people really check this car out. I mean, you just don't see many of these on the road anymore. And I'm just amazed at the thumbs up and the comments and the looks that this car gets, which is kind of cool. I think the black really makes this car stand out. Looks like the Batmobile with all these curves and flares. And yeah, I love the 80 to 82 body style on the C3. It's just such a sexy shape to the car. So let's get it over here and get up on the highway, and we'll just kind of give it a little bit of a run here. Oh, we got getting late in the afternoon here, so we got some sun in the eyes. But so here's the deal with this car. It's a 350 V8, obviously. You know, the specs are not that impressive. I mean, it got a lot of flack. You know, this car's 190 horsepower, and but it does have about 280 foot-pounds of torque. Doesn't sound like a lot. I mean, you know, and by modern standards, I mean, it's not a lot. But here's the thing: is it doesn't feel like it's inadequate. I mean, this car will spin the, even with the automatic, will want to spin the tires, taking off from a stoplight. It has fantastic torque, and the car, weighs just over 3,200 pounds, so it's actually not a super heavy car. So we're getting up on the highway here, and that's where this car really, really shines. So like I said, we can see cruising right now, I'm cruising about 55 miles an hour, and it's totally comfortable. The car just has such a nice ride to it. It's really a great GT car. It's just a very comfortable. I've literally been daily driving this car, and I'm just amazed at just the driving position. I love the view over the wheels. It's just kind of narrow and long. It has a special feel to it, and that's really what it's all about. When you're driving a car, does it feel special, And this car does. I mean, I might get some different opinions on that, but it does to me. And here we go. We're going to go around this corner right here. What really impressed me with this car was the handling and my lack of attention. I'm going to have to edit that one out, Polo. Was he in my lane?
No, he wasn't in.
Is that a lane? Well, I caught him from the corner of my eye, and I thought it was, but then the last second I caught it, and I was kind of like, better safe than sorry, right? Well, hey, the brakes work, don't they?
Exactly, the brakes work.
I mean, this car, it handles fantastic. When I got the car, that was one thing I was surprised. I expected this big kind of floaty, not very good handling, but this car is as flat as it can be. And even with these big kind of balloony tires, I think it actually really, it gives it a lot of good compliance. And so it really hugs the corners very well. Things that are, an issue with the car or whatever, like I said, that the water temperature gauge is not working, and I'm going to have that looked at here. The cruise control is not working, and so the climate control, when you go like heat or defrost, the directions are not quite 100% changing correctly. And and then at an idle, there's a little bit of a flutter. So my thoughts are that I've got a little bit of a vacuum leak. And I think they're all related to that. So let's kind of get rolling here. So that's just one of my thoughts on, so I think a simple thing is probably related to most of the issues. The cruise control, the idle, and the temperature control, I think are all related to a vacuum leak. But I just wanted to let you know exactly, what the status of the car is at this time. That doesn't mean that some of that stuff we may have resurrected by the time somebody comes to look at the car. But cruising along here. I love the way the car rides. It has a real, it's got a lot of suspension travel to it. It's not harsh at all, so it has very good vertical compliance, but yet it has it's very impressive on the handling. It sounds good. Here's that V8 sound. Woo! Here we go. Here's our little S-bend corners. Man, it handles good. This is my favorite one here. We got the little bump in it, Woohoo! Hang on, photo. So yeah, it's a fun car to drive. It handles great, very comfortable, and so it's been a little bit of a exciting trip, hasn't it, Polo?
Oh yeah.
Oh shoot! But yeah, so the car, I think that that it doesn't really. I'm sure there's some little tiny drips and stuff. I mean, I've had it up on the lift. It was really dry underneath. I didn't really see anything, but I'm sure there's going to be some seepage, of a car of this age. But there are no active, drips on the ground that I see after parking the car. So it's very, very good in that respect. It's dry underneath. The frame is excellent. Just a little bit of surface rust on that, but actually, but it's very solid, no rust on the frame. So just a very good, solid survivor, 48,000 miles. So I appreciate you guys riding along with us. Look us up, EuroAsianAuto.com, EuroAsian Auto on Facebook, and obviously you're here on YouTube, so you know us as EuroAsian Bob. Like and subscribe if you would, and hit that notifications button, and that way whenever we get a new car posted up, you'll be one of the first ones to see it, because you never know when we might have your next dream car. Have a great day and happy motoring.